not yet. We're not there yet. Oh, now we're on.
We're doing the thing, but it still doesn't do the thing.
Mine shows.
Yours is on the thing.
Yeah.
So I guess we're going to use Phil's phone to watch.
I know, which just pains me to have my phone up here. But
Sam, you're missing out. Dude.
I just saw her red hair. Oh, there she is.
Yeah,
She's walking away from us.
Yeah, she didn't want to do live because she was going to go down and shoot with Vinny. But look at this bad boy.
I do like it.
And I did not know until recently
that those are there.
That those actually come in with the, like, why isn't that a thing more of them do?
I know, right?
Like, that's pretty awesome. It's a bit of an odd kind of a duck.
Yeah.
With the sight picture.
But it's there if you
but
need
it's
them.
There. It's got some sort of tritium-ish maybe in the front because it seems to glow in the dark, sort of. But awesome. Shot with a guy over the weekend. Yes, I got to shoot a competition.
I know, I saw that.
It was so exciting.
Did that just like pop up? Because I didn't hear anything about it. Just like all of a sudden I saw a couple people shooting.
I was scared to say anything, so it showed up. Look at these guys.
Oh
Welcome.
my God!
Say hi to the Facebook
You're
world.
on the book of
Hi,
faces.
Facebook world. It's us.
It's them.
Who?
Hey,
And them.
Duke boys, you want to buy this? Can I
I
interest
looked
you in
at
a
the other day.
Tavor?
That is sweet.
Well, see, when you look at it twice, you got to buy it. So.
Yeah. And here's the cool thing.
Does this time count?
Yes.
Yeah, so we'll get you on paperwork here in just a moment.
I wouldn't mind owning this bad boy.
You know what's neat about that thing is it's chambered in 5.56. However, you can also get a 9mm conversion for it, and you can shoot 9mm out
That's
of
even
it.
cooler. And you know what's cool? That's a 16-inch barrel.
That it is.
In a little EB package.
Yeah.
Very tiny overall package. And the mag release is in the right place.
Everything's ambidextrous. This is ambidextrous.
Yep.
With this.
Yep.
I get a cut for every one you sell.
Look, check that out.
Well, if you buy it, we'll get a cut of it.
Okay.
Okay?
Or you can have it eject here. So you can go lefty if you need
that's cool. I
lefty,
didn't know that.
or you
John,
can
you
go
have a wife.
9mm if you need 9mm. And I do know that your brother doesn't have one yet.
He has.
By the way, that normally works with these two.
He has
If
one,
one
but
of them has it, the other one needs to have it.
He has one, but it's a lot shorter.
Now you're touching it. I mean, that's kind of weird.
I mean, it's the way it happens here.
Yeah.
But really neat a design like the Yolks were saying, like it's 16-inch barrel, so it's a full
It's a
rifle,
rifle.
but yet it's about the size of a standard Munchkin AR.
Yeah. Like a 11.5-inch or a 10.5-inch AR pistol.
Yeah. So really, really cool item. Really neat.
And the big thing with that X95 that I like over the Tavor is they moved the controls to be much more AR familiar, right? When the original Tavor, you had to do a mag release in the back, and it was in a
you had like
weird
this weird
spot.
thing, and then like the mag release was you push a button in here, and I mean it did work.
Yeah, it worked. It was
in
cool.
that your hand was there to retrieve the magazine.
I knew that was coming.
With the
Jake has to hide from the camera.
with the
see Jake.
proliferation of ARs in their AR things, they moved the magazine release up to a standard magazine release. So you push there, and the mag comes shooting out the bottom.
It falls out.
And then we got another one of these. We've seen a bunch of them coming through in the past couple of days.
Yeah, I know.
We only have that one left.
Yeah. So we
For you guys that were looking for the Scorpion, we do have the Scorpion as well. And we finally got the
we
brace
just had
in
one.
yesterday. So we added the brace to the back end of the Scorpion as well. But not quite as cool as HK Slappy thing.
Yeah, I like the slappy thing. Being able to do that HK slappy
And
thing.
you can on the Scorpion, it's way more dangerous to do on your hand. Because I don't know that it's necessarily designed for slappy things. Whereas this one, the rounded top, I mean, I think it's required.
You can't just like.
No, if
can't
you look real
release it.
carefully, it says
Slap
must
here.
smack.
Yeah, you can't do that.
No, that breaks it.
Yeah.
It won't work. That works all the times.
I like it.
Yeah, and we've seen the SP5s, the HK ones come in. I still think the PTRs, in my opinion, are the nicest looking ones so far.
Yep.
Now, The older MP series of like those are a little bit different, but I don't know if HK like forgot how to do it in between then and now. But theirs don't necessarily seem all as refined. PSA's got their model that's supposed to be headed out pretty soon, but I'm not sure. But
I really like this PTR, and we can't keep them around.
no, we normally we'll have that one, and I'll bet you by the weekend it's gone.
Yep.
If it even lasts that long. I mean, that thing, $2,000, and it's still something that
really
everybody
like this.
thinks it is worth it. I wish I understood why it was worth it. You know,
I think it's just
as
because of
much,
numbers,
but-
right? They can't make as many of these as they can
Yeah.
with other stuff.
And supposedly the tooling to make the upper receiver is extremely expensive and very difficult. I don't know. I mean, it is something. It is cool though, that's for sure.
Oh, we got
There
Mr.
are
Grant Birch is watching. Patrick's
Oh, yeah.
watching. Daya, I might have messed that name up. I'll just say hi. What's up, man?
Kind of like it.
Yeah,
It's-
Daya.
I mean, it's spelled how that. I mean, that's how it's spelled. Maybe. Maybe it's a.
Whoa.
All right. Dude, most exciting thing that happens this weekend.
Classes start back up.
Classes starting back up.
I
So
don't know who else is excited for it, but I'm
come in
definitely
and
excited
shoot.
for it.
Sign up for classes. We got a whole bunch already. So Saturday you got the defensive handgun one.
Yeah, so we got
I
three
think
classes on
two
Saturday.
different classes of that
Yeah,
though,
so
right?
I've got a defensive one that starts at 8. I've got a defensive one that starts at 8 and another one that starts at 2. And then we also have our AR Armors course opening up that day. We have another visitor, a very annoying visitor.
Well, we have the same visitor back again.
Is it this?
I think
he's
he
coming
came-
back for his HK.
Do you need this in order
Yeah.
to put on the numbers on the paperwork?
You got to get it before your brother does.
Look, this one's already got built-in sights, so you don't even have to spend the extra money on that one.
And I've
Sunday
got
and
an AR Armors
Monday.
class 2 on Saturday,
Yes.
which just had a spot open up. See you guys. We're limiting that one. All of our class sizes have changed recently.
It's kind of weird.
It is. And we're limiting our Armors class to just 4 students. I had one student that just emailed me a little while ago that had to drop out, so we're down to 3.
So we got room.
So we got room. If somebody wants to get it. It's a 2-day class,
There's all
Saturday
the
and Sunday.
ins and outs of the AR, the how, the why, the design, malfunctions, testing. You'll assemble, disassemble, and then reassemble a gun. I think it's 4 or 5
At least
times,
3
something like that.
times. And then typically a 4th where we do a community thing. I don't know if we're going to do the community thing this time. I think I'm going to have Vinny just ask the students if they want to. Normally we take all the guns, all the pieces of all the guns, and throw them in one bucket. And then they go through and we have a competition to see who can do it the fastest with the least amount of
Trips
oopsies.
back to
Yeah.
the.
Yeah, to have to either put something in or trade out with somebody else. So it's a ton of fun, and you learn a lot about how the gun works. Paul, good morning. Not good morning. Sorry, I'm used to my morning thing, and
Right.
good afternoon. Camden, Frank,
daytime stuff.
Sid.
We got to
Mr.
see Sid yesterday. He came in and hung out for a little while. And thank
was
you
already
to all
gone.
you regulars that are stopping by again and coming and saying hi. We
Yep.
truly enjoyed that. And
Absolutely.
It's been a long time since we've seen most
A lot of
you.
people. Yeah, a lot of people. For
So,
sure.
there's weird stuff's going on, but as you guys know, I don't want to spend a whole bunch of time on this COVID thing, but masks, if you need to wear a mask or you feel more comfortable wearing a mask, totally fine. Gloves, totally fine. Just understand the nature of our business. We are going to ask you to remove your mask to see your ID. If you're buying a gun, renting a gun, or otherwise, it's just the nature of the beast.
Yep.
We have to make sure that you are you. So understand, and if that really is the breaking point, I am really sorry.
Let me go on one other tangent on that as well. So, wearing a mask, fine. Typically, you can't wear a mask in a gun store, right? Or a bank, or lots of places like that. Our rule is always firearms have to be cased, whether that's in a holster, in a bag, or something. Sometimes people break that rule and pull granddad's shotgun out of their trunk to bring it in here for us to look at, and they don't really know what they're doing with it. Please understand, don't walk in here with a gun in your hand and a mask on your face. okay? That gets us
very bad look.
Yes, it gets
Very bad look.
attention quickly. All right. One more thing, and you guys might even be able to hear it on the other side since the doorbell is right below us here. We got a doorbell out front that we've had out there for a month
and a half.
Yeah. You ring the doorbell, we will come to the door. You don't You don't have to hit it
we will come.
12 times, right? It takes us a good 20 seconds to walk from across the showroom to the door if we're not standing right up front. So if you ring it 4 times, we're going to answer that door a little bit more aggressively. So
And
give us a minute.
probably a little slower.
Yeah.
You'll see us in the window long before we open the door.
So, speaking of which,
Speaking of which,
Let's see if
so
that goes
we
up.
are trying to get there as quickly as we can, but as you'll see, we've got customers, so they are dealing with customers, but there we go, and we are headed in there to try and get to the door as quickly as we can. So most people have been very understanding on that.
it's kind of the
Just,
new thing,
you
right?
know,
People
we're kind
understand.
of poking the 7 of you that do it.
Yeah.
Stop.
All the time. All the time.
Please, just stop. But come in, our walls are looking way fuller now. It's still very hit or miss with manufacturers on what we can get. No Glock 19s. We do not have any Glock 19s. We
Cannot get 'em.
have not seen any of those in a couple of weeks. We did have a couple that had been set aside for things that we pulled back out because why you would put money down on something and then decide, I'm never going back.
Yeah.
You're silly. However, we've got no 19s. We've got some 40. I think we got a 45.
I think we have
got
one
a couple of
45.
The Marine Corps
The Marine Corps
45s.
ones,
We've got a bunch of SIGs. We got some M17s and 18s yesterday. We've got some 320s. We've got a bunch of Springfields. We've got a bunch of XDs came in. We've got a bunch of the Defender series. So those of you on a budget, great option there. They're cutting down the cost on the gun by not including all the extra stuff that Springfield a lot of times adds. So those are going for the low 3s, $400, somewhere in there. We got some Organics in. Awesome guns for under $1,000.
I mean, you get
some of them under $700.
Yeah, you can get a nice
500
gun with
bucks.
an optic for like $750.
Yeah, $800.
Yeah.
Under $800, you get a couple of different colors. Under $1,000, you can get one with a salient trigger, barrel, magwell. Like this thing is totally
been
tricked out.
Really close to buying that gun a few times. A TP9 SFX Elite Combat or whatever. I kind of
TP9 SF Elite,
okay, that thing.
because the X is the big one.
Yeah, the X. So it's okay. Yeah, SFX is the 5-inch gun, and then you have the TP9 SF Elite Combat.
Yes.
I think.
Combat is the Gucci'd up one.
Yeah, with the salient barrel.
And that black with the gold barrel is really nice. I mean, I like the tan with the black barrel, but that black with the gold barrel,
It's kind of sweet.
pretty slick. And then Sunday,
X-Carry. I don't have an X-Carry.
they're not doing the X-Carry anymore.
Oh, that's right.
Yes, they're not doing the X-Carry anymore.
Carry.
I don't know why. It's now going to be called the
I'm going to screw it up so I can't even, I won't even do it.
X-TAC
Yes, which is not being produced
something.
yet. I don't
blah,
think.
I don't know. They're totally changed it. It's got a tactical thing in there now.
Yeah.
I
that's
think
what it
it's
is.
available with
X-TAC. I think.
X-TAC.
I think.
I think it comes in a non-threaded and a threaded barrel. I don't know. It's SIG, so
yeah.
they thankfully have gone from 6,000 variations of the 320 to like 2,000.
Yep.
So there's still lots of options. They just are calling some of them different things. Speaking of which, the Wilson grips on the bottom of a 320.
Yeah.
Mark Keith is 100% right. Don't tell him I said that. And if you're watching, I didn't say that out
Nope,
loud.
I didn't hear anything.
You were hearing things, but he's right. The 320 with the Wilson bottom.
It's a different feeling gun.
Awesome setup.
We had one Wilson full gun.
We have 2 Wilson full guns.
They're both gone. Nope.
Oh,
we sold the other one Sunday we sold it. So we have no 320s in there right now. We have just grip modules on order, but I don't know when they'll show up.
Yeah. But so awesome stuff. Oh, more excitement. Sunday, starts CCW classes.
Oh yeah, first CCW
Yeah.
class in like
Sunday,
2 months.
Monday.
Yep, I have a class Sunday, a CCW class on Sunday and a CCW class on Monday, and then I have another
one, like
CCW
Thursday,
the next Saturday.
Saturday, something. I don't know. Jump on there, look at them. We understand that there's some issues with the software, so a lot of times you're not able to see how many people or how many spots are in that until it gets down to like 4 or 5, something like
Yeah.
that. There's only 10 that can get into there. Some of them they're having issues, and it's still showing that up to 25, but Phil's on top of that.
Yeah.
So if you have questions, shoot an email in. If you just sign up, if you're over that 10, Phil's doing a really good job of trying to put in there, marking them on there, sold out. When they're already past that 10, closing them out, and then the other ones.
Yeah, normally our CCW classes we limit to 25 people, and this time of year our weekend classes will typically sell out. Right now, with being 10, they are definitely selling out. So from now until the plan right now, till the end of June, we'll limit them to 10 people, where we can space people apart, and we'll kind of see where we're at from there. If everything clears up early and we can bump those numbers up sooner, we will. And I'm trying, as we fill up more and more classes, I'm trying to sneak in other ones just to get people in. 'Cause I know people want to get to class, and a lot of people had them canceled on them, so we're doing what we can.
And he's adding as many as he can as quickly as he can, so there's all kinds of different changes, so constantly check the website, see what it is. If you have questions or want to know when the next one's coming up, shoot us an email. I'm sure as things kind of get into a slightly more whatever the thing is
Yeah.
we're moving towards, once things normalize-ish, we'll be trying to get some big emails going out, at least once we get some sort of a schedule going as to being able to have Phil be able to look farther than 3 weeks from now.
Yeah.
Because I know you normally got classes punched. He tries to say what, 6, 9
I
months?
try to stay
somewhere
6 to
around
8 months ahead of where we are, but it just,
right now.
yeah, I've
idea.
tried to refocus instead of just blindly scheduling, trying to see what is filling up so I can, what to allocate where, and we're doing a lot of classes right now with that, and events, and limited lane usage. It's a balancing act of everything. So
Yeah.
we're doing what we can. If you got questions, you can email me directly, Phil, phil@therangestl.com. I will help however I can. Okay.
Competitions. Hopefully next month we'll start the competitions back up. No idea what the weirdness is going to be with all that stuff. I shot a match over the weekend. They had limited us down to 10-man squads. As you guys know, we normally run 20 to 25 in the match, so I don't know.
Yeah.
The big one that we're worried about is 2-gun, and I know that's going to be a big one that all the competitors are looking at.
Because that's the only one we have right now that really matters.
Yeah, it's
and we've
the
already
one
started it.
Yeah, so that one it would not be fair to go to 10 people being able to shoot that. So I don't know. We've got a little bit of time before we really get that figured out, but stay tuned. We'll let you know once we get things figured out.
John Stein's excited.
1911 match is still up. It's in, I think, August, beginning of August. So that one will be a lot of fun. Be the first one we're doing. Still kind of up in the air as far as all the things going on, but nuts and bolts of it be 1911 and 1911 based designs. You'll have the baby 1911s, so your 9mm and subsequents. Then you'll have the big boys, the 40s and 45s, all single stacks, 10 mils. That's where you guys will sit. And then you'll have the odd man outs, or the open-ish class. We don't necessarily want to call it open because I'm really not wanting you open guys to show up.
Yeah, we don't want the real race guns here.
No comps, slide like frame-mounted dots and so forth, because that's just 100% cheater class. But
Fun gun match has
things like your 2011s, your double-stack 1911s, your Browning high powers possibly. I know it's not a 1911, but it's still freaking awesome gun.
Fits
and it's
in there, I think.
basically the same thing. It's just a double stack awesomeness. So there'll be more info coming out on that. And then the indoor match got pushed.
Yeah, because that was supposed to be the indoor carry championship was supposed to be 2 weekends ago.
Yeah. Beginning of May.
That got pushed.
And we started
February,
looking, and you competition guys know that when we went to try and look, it's like, man, like whose toes are you going to step on?
Yeah.
Between just the matches that are local and regular and already set, plus all you guys trying to go to the national matches.
And everybody's trying
matches.
to make up for stuff that got canceled. It just, everything's getting flooded, and we can't really compete with the outdoor matches, right? Our best time frame is that cold, nasty, when we can shoot indoors versus outdoors. So.
Yeah. So
I think February was a better move rather than trying to squeeze it in somewhere this year.
So it's been bumped. We're looking at February of 2021. And so basically, if you're already signed up for it, you don't have to do anything.
Yep, you're good to go.
If you haven't signed up for it, sign up for it. I don't know if it's technically still closed or whatever.
Nope,
but
it's
if you
active,
find it closed, is it active? So it's open for everything?
It should be totally
I don't know.
open.
If you can't get in there, shoot us an email, dpluth at therangestl.com. Tell him you need a code. He will get you a code. If it hasn't been used, try using Jackwagon. I know he likes that one, so that might be a hidden one in there. Forget about that when it comes time for other matches.
David Horschig said he is in our basic competition class on the 19th. You'll have fun with that.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. So going forward beyond that, next Tuesday, we're going to start up the new owners orientation classes again. So the how to clean your gun, how to maintain your gun, and that sort of thing. I can tell. He knew what to do with his hands that time.
Yeah. If you ever get to watch Kentrell on the video, he's like,
he doesn't.
I don't.
He gets confused as to what to do with his hands. It's pretty awesome. He gets all nervous. And if you just tell him that it works, like if you see it red, it means it's off. Green means it's on. Then he does fine and doesn't realize that
it's the other way around.
Backwards, but you shut it off and then he gets weird and then it turns on and he normalizes a little bit. But I love that guy. But so, I mean, we've got new owners orientation classes starting up, and then I believe, is it next week or the week? No, next week we're also starting up the new, what do we call it? What is it? New owners.
It's new owners maintenance, and then new owners, drawing a blank. New owners operation.
Yeah.
New owners operation.
That's how bad it is. The guy that figured it out and came up with it still don't know the name of it. But
that
the
will
how
probably
to
not
clean
be
your gun
next Tuesday. It'll be the Tuesday after, more than likely.
Yeah. So the how to clean your gun. Anytime you buy a gun from us, we do the new owners orientation class for free.
Yep.
How to clean it, how to maintain it, how to take it apart so you can clean it, maintain it, that sort of thing. We do that as a courtesy so that you kind of have a little bit of familiarity with your new thing.
Yep. So we talk about basic safety, but then the main part, the nuts and bolts of that class is maintaining it. You shoot it, now what?
Right. And so the next step after that is the how to do the shooting part of it. And the new owners or the new shooters class, however you want to look at that, will be starting up not the next week, but
The week after.
The week after.
Yeah.
And
that's a basic intro into shooting, so you can come out and shoot while you're waiting to get in a class. Like if you're waiting to get in a basic pistol class or a CCW class and you're new to firearms, this gives you that introduction. It's an hour-long group setting, right? Instead of being an hour-long private lesson, it's an hour-long group setting, so it's a little bit less expensive. But that will get you to the point where you can, hey, I can pick up the gun, I can put bullets in it, and I can shoot it and be safe. And do that a couple of times before I get in the basic class or the CCW class and roll on.
So you can go downstairs and you can start shooting, you can start making mistakes and make mistakes in a safe manner. And so we're like, then you come up and you're like, I think my sights are off in this gun.
Yeah.
It's totally normal. They ship with them canted.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's crooked barrels.
We
Glocks
pick
are known
them up
for
and
that.
we just shake them.
Yeah.
And then that fixes them.
Yeah, and just wait till class. We'll go through the class, and then we'll get you straightened out after that. We'll tweak that barrel over a little bit. It's just a shim. We can do a thing. It's easy.
No big deal.
You older guys that have been shooting for a while and still shooting your Glocks to the low left, just remember, it's just the barrel.
Until you go through a class, and that
just
fixes the barrel.
Turn the gun all the way upside down, shoot with the pinky, and it'll hit high right. When you average those out, you get to the middle. That's how you do that.
Don't shoot the ceiling though.
No, you gotta be careful. You still gotta use the sights.
Yeah.
It's just instead of it looking like this, it's gonna look like something like that. In the news, let's get into some of the news stuff.
News. What's new in the news?
Gun related. I'm not normally a fan when they the government starts asking for money to enforce gun laws. Normally I'm not. Baton Rouge, Louisiana, though, I'm really kind of happy with the way Louisiana's doing things. The Senate voted 4-1 yesterday to forward a bill that takes the possession of a firearm by a person who has been convicted of a felony as a crime of violence. Regardless of what you're doing, that act in itself, now remember, these are criminals. Felons are criminals. With a felony, if you have a gun, it is against the law, and they're saying right now the minimum sentence is 5 years, but they want to make it tougher, and they want to do lengthier jail time. That is something I'm 100% for.
Absolutely.
Is there people that are on the list of can't have a firearm that need to be removed? Yes. Not saying that there's not errors, not saying that there's not some things that need to be fixed in the system, but if you are a felon, you should not have a gun in your possession at all. Sorry, not sorry. And if you do, you should definitely have to pay a price, and if the current price is not stopping it, increasing that price sounds like a perfectly rational idea to me. Just want to see it implemented. We have gun laws. Just let's implement the gun laws and enforce those. I'm okay with that. Another one kind of similar, but Trump administration, back and forth on whether he likes the Second Amendment or not, but he's also asking.
He does kind of teeter on that.
He does.
On a lot of things, but.
He does, but generally he hasn't taken them away. With the exception of the bump stocks. I don't care if you like them or not. The things are dumb.
They are dumb.
And if you do things right, you can do it on your own. I got plenty of videos of me.
We both think they're dumb, but we both don't think they should have been.
Oh heck no, no! I think you should have been able to spend your money on stupid stuff all you want.
100%.
Pistol bayonets. Absolutely, you should totally be able to buy one. I don't think you should, but you should be able to. Because there's some jackwagon out there who's like, I want a knife for my gun. And he came up with this idea, and other people bought it. Great. That's fantastic. They're dumb people, in my opinion, but hey, that's just my opinion, and I'm wrong a lot. Ask my wife. But Trump is also asking for more money for existing gun laws. I like the sound of that. And he's not necessarily, like his side of things, the administration is really, they're looking for more money for the ATF based on them needing to try and get back some of the guns that are in the hands of people that shouldn't have them, as well as being able to run the background checks. So some crazy stuff in here that I was finding, but so let's say they're trying to cut down on the delayed denials. So the people that get delayed, we have a Brady date, and so in case you didn't know, Brady law was it 89, 6 in the 80s. Reagan got shot, or Brady got shot, blah blah blah. Reagan got shot, Brady. Anyway, so they came out with all this background checks, blah blah blah. I think most of us are kind of like, I get it, and it's not that we want them, but we don't necessarily not want them. So, but anyway, so we've got them, and what happens is you have a delayed period where they say, okay, we can't verify if you're good to go today, but give us 3 business days to figure it out, and then we'll let you know. And what's happening is they're overloaded, overworked, and understaffed, and they're not getting to them in time, and so you have multiple different things that we've heard in the news about this, that, and the next thing, where people have been able to acquire a firearm even though they shouldn't have been able to. And so what they're asking for is some money so that they can basically hire more people that can help run NICS and be able to flag those buyers, be able to have some extra enforcement to go actually contact those people and get those guns back.
So when if I try to buy a gun today and I get delayed, right? I fill out my paperwork. I'm buying this X95.
Sweet.
Yeah.
It's not there anymore, guys.
And I get delayed. They're going to tell me my Brady date is the 17th. Well, what day is today? Today's Thursday, so it might be like the
13th.
it'd probably be Monday, so the 18th or something.
Yeah,
it's 3
really the
business days
18th.
starting tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
So on the 18th, even if they haven't heard back yes, you can self-fill the gun, or no, you can't, even if they haven't heard at all, on that date, legally, I can pick up my gun, okay? The shop can transfer that gun to me. So what's happening is people are getting either a proceed or a no response, and the gun's getting transferred to them, and then like a month later, coming back and saying, whoa, 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 did you sell that gun to Phil? Because we just figured out Phil is not really the Phil we were thinking, and that Phil can't have a gun.
Right.
So, and then they're not doing anything about it.
That's the part that really bothers me, and that happens, and it's no necessary fault of an individual person or area or group or whatever, but there's all kinds of things. And then with the excessive chaos that's happening right now, it makes it even worse. So what ends up going on is they have these people that have achieved or have successfully received a gun that shouldn't have one, and then even though they know, they don't do anything about it.
Yeah.
And so that's what they're trying to get there. In 2018, the FBI referred more than 4,000 background check denials to the ATF for them to retrieve them. According to them, they have not received many of them.
None.
Back. at
Zero.
all. Yeah.
That many.
A zero. 4,000. More than 4,000. In 2017, maybe it was better then. 4,800 gun purchases went through that shouldn't have, and of those, over 1,000 of them went to people that had misdemeanor domestic violence convictions, which is 2 strikes against that individual,
That
because
one
A,
person.
if you've got that domestic, you can't have a gun, and B, when you fill out the 4473, that's actually one of the questions. Like, well, that's right here, and he checked no.
And he was,
So,
which is another violation.
That's like 2 strikes.
Yeah.
500 of them were fugitives from justice. And again,
how many?
Our biggest problem out of 4,800. Our biggest problem in it is not that thing happens. I think, yes, we are going to have some bad apples get guns when they shouldn't. I think it's a good thing.
Yep.
And I'll explain. I think it's a good thing because if it wasn't that way, the opposite would be happening, and people that should be getting guns wouldn't be
Would not.
able to.
Yep.
That I'm against.
Yeah.
So I'll accept that sometimes bad people will slip through. I mean, we had literally yesterday we had a case where we had 4 of our employees go up and interact with a certain individual because it was thought that certain individual who came in with 3 other individuals, all which seemed to be much more candidates for a 10 millimeter than the individual that was buying one. So there was a lot that went into that one to make sure. If it was a straw purchase, it was a really good one because they were dead set that they wanted this because they wanted it. And it was, cleared 4 of us going through a bunch of different things and
we're
trying to figure
good
out.
about that,
We
too.
really try and figure out because
we try very hard to.
John fully
catch
supports us refusing sales. So
Yep.
I'm
And we do it.
excited about it.
We do it.
And we've stopped good sales, bad sales. Like, it is what it is. But So yeah, I mean, back to this, you just do something. Right now, the FBI's run more than 2.9 million background checks in April, and that's the most since 1988. In March, it's 3.7 million background checks.
Crazy.
That is the most in any month since November of 1998, when the NICS program was launched.
That is crazy.
So March, it was the number one month, and then April, it looks like, was what, number 3 roughly, completely blowing away the what's the one shooting, the Newtown shooting.
Yeah.
The only other news story that I really kind of want to get into, like in this, is one that I read about, and I didn't write down where it came from, but please, for the love of your children, teach your kids about guns. This exact thing is something that has always scared me, and I had a reverse of this happen to me, and I thank that happening instead of this happening. So a young child, a 5-year-old, was hanging out with his brother. They were in the woods. The 5-year-old ended up stumbling across a gun, picked it up thinking that it was a toy, pointed it at his 12-year-old brother, and said, "Bang, bang," and pulled the trigger and shot and killed his 12-year-old brother.
Terrible.
It was the day before Mother's Day.
Yeah.
They were in the woods behind their house. As things kind of unfolded later on, as they were trying to figure out and establish what had happened in the nearby area, and it didn't say where, but in the nearby area, there had been a police chase on 3 suspects prior. They had exited the vehicle. They had ended up finding in the vehicle some, I don't know, some drugs of something, MDMA, ZLPOD, letters. It was some sort of a drug. I don't know, not real experienced. But got into that. They found that. They think that the gun could have been from one of them that had fled. Still trying to figure out what had happened. So the gun and all that stuff is back to trying to do forensics. But it's things like this. The 5-year-old said that he literally thought that it was a toy. He didn't know that it wasn't a real gun. And the story, my daughter, she was probably 6 or 7, was at a friend's house, came running up, "Hey Dad, can you come look at this gun that he wants me to go play with?" And I'm thinking, the kid's 6 that she's playing with. Like, I clearly had an idea what I was getting into, and I walked down the hall and opened up into his room, and there's an orange and green gun that says Nerf on the side of it. And I picked it up and treated it like every other gun and pulled out the magazine and checked the magazine and racked it back. Looked in the chamber, tried to figure out what it was, and then took the time to explain to her that this is a Nerf gun. See these big Nerf bullets? These are designed as toys. You can just play with them. "Well, we don't shoot them at people though, Dad, do we?" Well, this is a different thing.
Yeah.
And going through that and just watching this 6 or 7-year-old little girl just trying to rationalize why Dad all of a sudden is saying it's okay to shoot her friend with a gun, to me is a much better situation to be in than this one.
Yeah.
I go out back out in the living room, and my buddy looks at me, he's like, "Did she really just have you go look at a Nerf gun?" I looked at him and I'm like,
Yeah.
"Ain't it better than this happening?"
Yeah, I tell people all the time, especially when we get newer gun owners in here, and they say, "Well, we've got little kids, we don't want them to know that we've got the gun." I tell people this, I don't want to tell a parent how to parent, right? I'm not going to tell you what to do with your own children. My suggestion is, though, they need to know about it, and you need to get educated about it. Both them as children and you as the adult, that this is not a toy, and go through the whole deal with them. My kids, I've got 3 little kids, they pick up on stuff. My youngest, who's 7 now, at this time he was probably 3. I hadn't had much of a conversation with him about it. I carry a gun every day, right? And my twins, who are older, I told them, "Hey, Daddy carries a gun every day. This is not something we talk about, da-da-da-da-da. You don't need to talk to your friends about it. You just need to understand." And we had the conversation about gun safety and all this stuff. So my youngest, One day walks up to me, I'm walking out to go to work, and he's got a Nerf gun tucked in the front of his pants. And I said, Austin, what are you doing? He goes, well, I'm just carrying a gun like you. I'd never showed it to him. I never explained to him that I carried a gun, but he knew. You know,
They're smart,
some
man.
point, he gathered up the information and put 2 and 2 and made 12 and figured it out. So they know.
Nerf gun tucked into the pants, keep me safe.
You have to have that conversation with your kids. You think they don't know you've got a gun tucked away in your underwear drawer, but they know.
Kids get into everything.
Yep.
You're not there, they're there, they get into it. They're going to get into it. They're going to find whatever it is that you got. So if you got stuff that's hidden, it ain't at all.
Yeah, I like
they will
Workman
find it.
says gun safety, or the best gun safety is education. 100%.
Absolutely, absolutely. So you gotta, and there's great ways to do that in a safe environment that's not to them a toy.
Yep.
BB guns, man, BB guns are toys. We know that they're treated like toys, but they're not really. Like you get a sweet little Daisy Red Ryder. Get one of them little munchkin-sized ones. What is it? The Buck or whatever is another one. Get you one of them. Start the kid off with that, and let them understand that this BB gun is treated every bit like a real gun, because it is a real gun. And teach them when they're young. There's no loud sound. There's no loud kickback. You can work through absolutely every one of the key fundamentals of firearm safety with a BB gun that's safe. And then you can let them know that they can come and get the parent in order to play with that anytime they want. So then that wonder is gone. I know about that thing. That's a special thing that under certain circumstances I get to do, but not always.
Yep.
And that way, when they find themselves in a situation where there is that thing, they're able to go, I need a parent because this is not normal. And the worst thing that happens is you run out there and it's a Nerf gun. And you get to explain to your kid that this is a dart and it's foam and it's squishy and you're totally okay to shoot this thing. But you got to go through all of that to get to that point, to know that it's a Nerf gun.
Yep.
Because some of these guys are turning Nerf guns into real guns or making their guns look like Nerf guns. But
So
I'm
teach
sorry,
your
I
kids.
gotta teach your kids about guns.
Get yourself
A
educated.
fun way of showing a younger that is understanding age, and I don't know what that is for you, but you'll know that for them. Fruit, shooting fruit, not here, but outside.
Don't do that here.
Shooting fruit is awesome because it's exciting.
It's
and
reactive.
One little and makes this huge mess, and then you just stop them at first and you go, I know this is lots of fun, but remember, this is exactly what happens to a people. Okay? Now, that's why we don't point things at people. And then instantly they go, whoa!
Get it.
Can we shoot more fruit now? I don't want
Yeah.
to shoot at people, but I totally want to shoot another fruit. And then you'll have lots of fun with that. Just make sure it's at somebody else's range so that they have to clean up the mess and you don't. Or we did it out of the farmer's house one time, and it was great because he had a whole bunch of stuff planted that he didn't really need planted.
David says, as a kid, his dad wrapped his BB gun around a tree for him mishandling it. And he said, I learned. I get it, right? You screw up, you play with it, and you lose it, right? And you get, kind of the good thing is it might be deemed child abuse anymore, but making your child watch you destroy their favorite thing is, that's a powerful statement.
I don't know if that is considered child abuse, but I love the idea because
Me too.
Lessons shall be learned, and I bet Dave didn't play with it in the wrong way after that.
Nope, I bet not.
So, I don't necessarily have a rant. Maybe that teaching kids about guns
Yeah, I think
was my rant.
that was a good rant. Education,
call that,
period, right? You buy a gun, you get educated on it. If you have children and you have a gun and you are a new owner, you need to get a total education for yourself, what to teach to your children. Bring them in here, we can help you.
If the kids are real young too, one of the really good ones that I like is the Eddie the Eagle program by NRA. Great program. And then, there's a lot more stuff coming out. I know that UPN has a bunch of stuff, or what the heck's, what's his name? Pincus's deal? PDN?
PDN.
USCCA, NRA's just got the old one.
Yeah. The Eddie the Eagle is a good program for that. It's not a shooting class. It's a this is not a toy, what to do if you find one type of thing.
Yeah, it's more of like an informative firearm safety rule.
Yep.
Fun coloring book.
Yeah, coloring book
kind of
type
thing
stuff
for the kids, and I'm pretty sure that Wayne gets none of that money. So
Yeah. Yes. I hope not.
just in case you're worried. My hero is the late Mike Mosher. I have had the lucky chance to have met him on a number of cases. He was a officer, a 15-year veteran of the Overland Park Police Department over in Kansas City, Kansas. Short breakdown, if you don't know, he was off duty in uniform on his way into work. There was a hit and run that happened right in front of him. He took off in pursuit of the runner, I guess, suspect. I'm not 100% sure, but somehow down the road he was able to get the guy to pull the car over, and there was an altercation back and forth. Mike was on the radio back and forth, and then there was he wouldn't get back into the car or something, and then when he finally went to go back in, he turned and shot Mike twice in the chest, and once they ended up hitting him in the clavicle.
Yep.
Mike put 2 into his into the pelvis, and then 3 into center mass on his way stumbling back. He did put the suspect down, but unfortunately, Mike, after making a few more calls in, succumbed to his wounds as well. So I feel extremely bad for Corinne, his wife, and his daughter Taylor. Absolutely a phenomenal family. First time I met Mike was at the AK match over in Sparta a couple of years ago. He beat me with an AK. So I mean, the guy was a good shooter. Corinne is a competition shooter. She's sponsored, I think, currently by STI and Weber Tactical, who's a local guy, and a bunch of other great people, Taryn Butler and so forth. She shot for Century and Janik, done work with 511, Instructor Zero. She's just a well-known competition shooter and trainer, and then her daughter is, I want to say 13,
I think she was
maybe
13.
14, somewhere around there, just a little younger than my oldest. Really, really sweet girl. The week before, they went to Mike brought his daughter to a concert, a Garth Brooks concert or something, and they were at like the weekend before. They all dressed up as Disney characters and were in a parade for somebody else. Just a family of just unbelievably nice things that they did for the community.
People.
So there's a salute to the blue that they were doing over in Kansas City. So on Sunday there was a parade for him. On Tuesday there was a drive-by vigil that lasted like 3 times longer than they were expecting. This morning was the funeral. Speaking of that ringing of the doorbell. But this morning was the funeral. It was broadcast on a bunch of the news channels and so forth, and then there was a couple of Facebook channels that, or Facebook pages that had also hosted that live as well. So I salute you, Mr. Mosher. Thanks for what you did, man.
Yep.
And it sucks.
Yep, that does suck.
So when we've been talking about trying to see if we can get Corinne in here to teach a training class, I don't know, but if we are able to get her swindled in to come in here, you'll hear about it. Phenomenal woman. But man, there is a GoFundMe set up for her. She is a competitive shooter that, if any of you know, we don't really get paid anything. Sometimes companies send us peanuts. Sometimes they'll just send us some stuff. So I don't know. I mean, I'm sure she gets paid for training and so forth, but I don't know. They have a GoFundMe that's set up for her as well, and for his daughter. I'm not sure if Backstoppers is doing anything. I would imagine they are.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
But I don't know. So, but big shout out to the Mosier family. Sorry
Yep.
for your loss, and
Absolutely.
thanks for what you did, Mike.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Yep.
But other than that, and I don't want to end on a somber note, but
We kind of
you can come shoot again.
Yep. So let's talk about hours real quick. They might be changing
weird.
again sometime soon.
They
but
are
for-
changing again sometime soon.
yes, they are. Yeah. For right now, our hours are 11 to 6.
Tuesday.
Tuesday through Sunday. We are not open on Monday. I believe
We are here, but we're not open.
I believe this next Monday will be our last Monday, maybe, that
think
we
so.
won't be open. Now, we have a class going on, so we'll have students here. Don't be too confused if you show up and there's a whole bunch of cars in a parking lot. Typically, it's been on Mondays, we're here doing maintenance the last few weeks, repairing bullet holes in the ceiling, so please stop shooting the ceilings, okay? Totally redoing our classroom, redoing a bunch of stuff in the showroom, organizing things, so we got everything looking nice and neat.
New coats of paint all over the place,
Oh,
new
man, so much
floors.
paint. Yep. But
kinds of
that stuff will be changing soon. As you can hear the doorbell, you show up, you ring the doorbell, we'll let you in. Maybe that'll change sometime soon as well. We can lift those restrictions and get rid of all that mess and just go back to you show up and tell us, hey, I'm here to shoot or I'm here to buy something, and you just get directed places. So
And for right now, we're not doing the side door most of the time.
unless
so
it
just
got like really busy.
come in through the front door unless you see a guy sitting on the side like some of you have seen. If you come pulling into the parking lot, there's a door right in front of you. It is an emergency exit door, so please don't leave through that door. It will set off the alarm. However, during high traffic times and real busy times, we may go back to having the side door access. So if you pull into the lot and see a sign that says
Tent,
range
yeah.
and a guy sitting under a tent wearing a rain shirt, you want to shoot,
Going that way.
talk to that guy. If you want to come into the store, everybody always to the front.
Workman says he can still shoot the walls and the floors, right? No.
Yes,
Floors-
you can.
yeah, you can.
It's just a $200 per round charge.
Floors, I don't really care about.
Hey,
Walls?
no, come on now. This
Well,
is
for workmen, yes, for workmen, $200.
Workman's gonna be like, you said,
Yeah, this is very
and
true.
he'll be chuckling the whole time.
Yep.
I wonder if he'd misspelled something on the floor. What if we just misspelled something? I'm gonna be able to mess with it.
Yeah,
Oh, we're still on recording. My bad.
we are. Has there been a wait every day? No, there has not. There has been waits. Not every day. Like we don't have one right now. We did have one earlier, I believe, just a few minutes. We had
The
one.
longest wait's been in the 10 to 20 minute
Yeah.
tops. And it hasn't gotten to a point where we've had lines where we've had to go in and say, hey, could you cut it to an hour?
Yeah. So as most of you know, our if you're not a member, or even if you are a member, when you come in, you get the lane for the day. So $20 for the lane for the whole day. Now we typically will ask. Typically, this only happens on weekends, but if we're busy enough that we have a wait, we ask that after that hour or after an hour, you stop, get back in line if you want to, or go get lunch and come back later. We have not really had to do that, even in our current half capacity type of thing. We've been okay on that. So, and I think people get it. Most people don't shoot for much more than an hour anyway.
Right.
There was the doorbell again. 2 quick rings. I don't get it, people. I don't
This
get
is
it.
fourth.
Yeah. Is it?
Same guy. Sometimes we're busy.
Yep. So anyway, you can come out, you can buy stuff. As if you watch my videos in the morning, I kind of show what we've got. The nice thing is our inventory has kind of stabilized. It used to be if we sold a bunch of stuff on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we'd get replacements for those Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Right now, the stuff we're getting in, we ordered 2 months ago, and it's starting to fill back up finally. So while we're not to the capacity we want as far as products go, we are way better off. We have a good selection of long guns. We have a good selection of handguns. We have a good selection of accessories. So if you need something, come in, check it out. Come in and shoot your guns. Come in and take classes. Come in and hang out, man.
Right, come see us.
Yep.
Have fun with us, because we miss you guys.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and so training's back up, range is back up, guns are back in, competition's hopefully very soon.
Almost there.
I don't
We're almost
know
there.
what else there is. Like, it's almost like it's normal-ish again-ish.
Soon.
Ish.
All right, guys,
I don't like the
come
weirdness.
see us 14803 Manchester Road in beautiful Baldwin, Missouri, or 636-220-1300. I just about gave my cell phone number.
The Range,
636-220.
STL.com. Click on shop online or training. Those are my
Yes.
2 favorite links right there.
Get
Training over here,
your stuff.
find a class, and be like, I want to shoot a new thing. Well, that one. Ooh, I got Dana Defense too on the wall.
Yep.
$1,300 used. It's
Yes.
awesome. I don't even know if they put any rounds in
You
it.
know what?
I think it might be one of our first, like, I bought this thing when it freaked out and I didn't know what I was buying. I don't know what to do with it.
I don't know, but for anybody else that's wondering
We have
about
a lever
those
action
things,
410.
I don't know.
Other
We haven't seen
thing
them yet.
Also, somebody, because I want to buy it, so somebody else has to come in and buy it, get that thing off the wall.
Are you talking about the
The
shorty
little
one?
lever action 410 other
Lever
thing.
action 410 powered thing that's about yay big.
Yeah, it's
And it's-
short, but it's not a pistol. And
It's
not,
not a
shotgun.
pistol, it's not a shotgun, it's not a rifle, it's
And
just a firearm.
And it's cool.
Awesome.
So cool.
And
All right,
shoot
I'm gonna go
410s.
hit the stop button over there.
They got all
So
kinds of 410
you
stuff.
can
too. You can get slugs.
stare at the camera and smile and stuff.
Creep them out.
Creep them out.
Creep them out. I'm very
See you
good.
guys.
But them just seeing me on here creeps them out. So do I really need to do anything to creep them out anymore? Probably not.